Rob Roy and that.
Yeah, I mean, it's feudalism. You've got to have a license is the authorization to do something that's illegal. So traveling is illegal in America.
Right, and it's even more than that. It's the aristocrat being able to take your bride before you had her. That's what a licensure is. It's the ability of a sovereign...
Because he owned you like deer on his property, and prima noctu was practice.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So under that, we lost our law because what happened is administrative law came in. Under the National Industrial Recovery Act, that meant thousands of codes were adopted throughout the states, and that meant you had to conform to these codes. And the president then had the ability to regulate how many doctors would be licensed a year, how many pieces of china would be made, how they would be made, every facet of our society.
And now the global licensure is the Agenda 21.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And then also with the stealing of the wealth of the American people, and I'll give you an example. In 1933, prior to the fiat currency, if you bought your house for $10,000, you had the title rights and interest in that house. But the very next day after the fiat money was enacted, now you had $10,000 of federal lien on. It was a swooping down of that valuation.
They turned wealth into debt with a sleight of hand.
Yes, without one shot being fired. But here's the issue on the income. What is income? When you think about it, let me ask you, with your state income tax and your federal income tax, I'm going to describe them differently. The state income tax is a domestic income tax form. It's whatever happens within the state. If that's the true nature of an income tax in the state, then what is that for the federal jurisdiction? I'm going to read one thing. The United States government is a foreign corporation with respect to the state, and that's Volume 20, Corpus Juris Secundum, Section 1785. So what is that federal income tax? It's international income tax form. How do you find yourself in international law? That's the law of the high seas, either admiralty or maritime. Admiralty being the contract on the high seas in a time of war, maritime contract on the high seas in a time of peace.
And that's why they always redeclare emergencies every year, is to keep that going.
Absolutely. Well, here's the bottom line. The Federal Reserve is a foreign corporation. It is the creditor to the United States. And in Title 12, Section 411, it says that the Federal Reserve notes are obligations of the United States. That means the United States, the debtor, the Federal Reserve is the creditor. Now, let's put ourselves in the picture. Well, let's go right to the ports of entry. Every time a merchant brings in merchandise into this country, there's a duty put on that merchandise, isn't there? And he's working under international law. Well, I just described that the Federal Reserve is a foreign corporation. It is the creditor of the United States. When you import a Federal Reserve note into your household, you now become a merchant, subject to international law, having to pay a duty on those products. And I heard that once. I heard the Federal Reserve call their merchandise products. Now, you're importing and exporting every month, importing the Federal Reserve into your household through your bank account, negotiating checks, what have you, and you export them out when you pay your PG&E, water bill, and everything else. That is the basis of income tax law. And if you read the Huntress, it'll tell you that revenue, and I probably should read it, it says, in this country, revenue causes had long been the subject of admiralty cognizance, that the Congress considered them as civil causes of admiralty and maritime jurisdiction. And to preclude any doubt that might arise, carefully added the clause, including, etc. This is clear proof that Congress considered these words to be used in the sense they bore. And the point is that all income tax is revenue. Revenue is income tax. It's foreign.
Well, that's why England calls their tax, the Inland Revenue System. Stay there. We'll be right back. Long segment coming up with our guest to continue breaking it down.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones asking you for a minute of your time to tell you about soap. Not detergents, but good old-fashioned pure soap made by the Cal Ben Soap Company, a family-owned and operated American company. My family, staff, friends, and radio listeners are constantly telling me how much they love these products for bath, hair, laundry, and dishes. There is nothing like these factory-direct, big-money-saving, triple-concentrated soaps anywhere. Get a free detailed catalog by calling 800-340-7091 or see them online at 5starsoap.com or Infowars.com. Let's talk to the owner of 5 Star Soap, Marty Schachter, and see what he has to say.
As founder and owner for over 63 years, people keep asking me, how's business? I'm happy to say our business is going down the drain. Call us at 1-800-340-7091. Visit our website, 5starsoap.com, for buying our 1 to 2 month soap sampler. Thank you.
You may be arrested and or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cannons, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. Hi, this is Alex Jones. You've heard me talk about the delicious, easy-to-fix, and very storable foods from eFoodsDirect.com. I've told you for years that eFoods Direct has the best storable food on the planet. Now it's that time of year again, and their holiday special is here. They have 2 holiday-priced packs for you to put into your reserves for a secure future or to share with others. The first is a 6-month bulk supply in 10 cans, and the second is a 5-week supply of quick and easy-to-fix meals, including delicious bakery items shipped in heavy tote bags. Now, for a limited time, when you order 2 or more of these special holiday packs, you'll get free shipping on your entire order. Call now, 800-409-5633, or visit them at efoodsdirect.com/Alex. That's 800-409-5633, or efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order. It's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
We've only got one segment left with Ron MacDonald, author of They Own It All, Including You, by Means of Toxic Currency. And I want to walk through this now in the 17 minutes or so we have, Ron, and get into the fact that they own you as well. And they hide this in plain view. That's why they call us human resources. That's what the globalists openly say. There's too many of us. We're a negative asset. They want to get rid of us. So first there's the process of takeover and domestication. Now there is the ongoing wars, the starvation. That's in State Department Memorandum 200, that they want to reduce world population. Please continue breaking it down, all covered in the book. They Own It All, Including You, available at Infowars.com.
Well, definitely. And the bottom line with using those notes, and most of your listeners already know this, is that they're debtors' instruments. They do not pay off. They actually discharge debt from one to another to another. They give no title, rights, and interest in anything that you purchase, so everything that you have does not belong to you. When your wife gives birth to your child, you actually pay the hospital with these Federal Reserve notes. That lien travels all the way through right onto the baby's head, because that is the nature of what currency and what money is. It is the qualities within these instruments that flow through to the very thing that is purchased. Now, going back to the jurisdiction, considering what jurisdiction we're in, most of us think that we're in the common law jurisdiction. Probably not your listeners, but most Americans do. You know, if you ask them, is that Federal Reserve note the money of the United States? They say, certainly. They don't know that it is not domestic currency. They have no idea it's foreign currency. It would be like if we were to import Japanese yen right over here right now and fill our entire system with Japanese yen, American people would be up in arms. that because they call it a Federal Reserve note, no one is aware that it's a foreign product not owned by the United States, not owned by you. It's owned by the Federal Reserve. And I guarantee you, if you try and take out 10,000 or more Federal Reserve out of this country, you've broken the law if you don't declare it. Or if you pay your property tax with them over 10,000, there's a red flag that goes up. Or if you put more than 10,000 at a bank, there's a red flag that goes up.
And let's briefly talk about that. What's happening here is we think of the dollar as the world reserve currency. That's not a greenback, a U.S. government-issued fiat. That is a private Federal Reserve fiat. And so when we hear about the dollar crisis worldwide, that's a fiat private banker crisis. They're using this system to control the world as well.
Oh, absolutely. It's in every country. It doesn't matter the nature of the currency. None of it is backed by a commodity that the people themselves own. And that's the one thing that people's eyes should be focused on. Do you actually own that you're using? Well, no, you don't. And again, there was a quote in the New Testament that says, "None shall buy nor sell without the mark of the beast." Well, you have to consider that the mark of the beast is invisible. It has to be invisible. It would be the very nature of money. And when you examine that prophecy, it is a commercial prophecy, isn't it? Buying and selling is commerce. So you would have to look into that jurisdiction to see where that mark of the beast is. Well, here it is. It's right out there in the open. It is a lien that travels all the way around. There's not one product, not one service in this country that isn't now liened. They own it all, including you, because we exist purely by means of this toxic currency.
So he makes all take it, both free, both slave, great, small, everyone uses it.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter whether you believe or don't believe in a religion or not. This is a commercial prophecy. It merely is the law of as far-reaching as Babylon itself. It's the merchant law. That's all it is. But when we go through society, there's something that one should be aware of. Being in common law meant the law of the land came and arose from the land itself. That's the law of the land is common law. That's why it's stated like that. But when you're driving down, or let's say you go to register a vehicle, you'll see it from the DMV. You'll be given a form, and it'll say vehicle /vessel. Well, that backslash means equality. That means they mean the same thing. Well, that should be your first clue that the jurisdictions are mixed right there. The land or the sea is mixed right on there. But are they? When you're driving down the highway in your car, do you not pass islands in the middle of the street? Are there painted islands? Are there raised islands? And what about those lanes called shipping lanes? Do you see the truck going down there with the cargo? And when that truck goes back and starts delivering its cargo, it backs up into a bay, which could be in the middle of a state, no water around, and unloads the cargo onto the dock. And what does the driver do? He hands over a bill of lading. Now, if you were to find the bill of lading, you can look in a law dictionary, and it'll say, for goods on a vessel. Now, did they confuse the terminology there? If you were to look up weighs bill, if he had a weighs bill, it would be goods on land. You see the nature of where we are right now?
But let me back up what you're saying here, because I've read the SPP documents that Judicial Watch sued and got. I've studied the inland ports at Kansas City and Dallas, Texas, and other areas. They admit that that's what the NAFTA superhighways are international jurisdiction taxation lanes and corridors that they admit is the international takeover of our country. So this is all actually admitted.
Yeah, and it's like I said, with the merchant law, highways were lanes, shipping lanes on the high seas. And back in the 50s, they changed all roads, all boulevards, all avenues into highways. And you have to ask,